Hi everyone, it's the EnglishSimmer here, and we are down to the last few days of 2023, some people's favourite time of the year, specifically because of wrapping. And I'm not talking about wrapping paper, I'm talking about the Spotify Wrap, the year in review, where we can all kind of take a look back 2023 and think, what did I achieve this year? I don't like to think about it too much, but I do like to look at my music. So when Spotify Wrapped was dropping, I've always said I would love it if EA did something similar with The Sims. I personally am so invested in this game. I would love to see how many specific hours I spent in the game. Obviously, the EA app already counts your played time, but unless you look at it right at the end of the 31st of December and then do some weird maths at the end of next year, you're not really going to see how many hours you have accumulated over the past year. But there's even more things I would love to see. I would love to see what your top object within the game was. What is your emotional support water bottle within the game that you know you can always rely on? How many times did your Sims woohoo? How many times did they get divorced? There are so many sick stats, and I mean sick with all you Simmers. How dare you witness so many fires? I'm gonna say that's on the Sims team, that's not on us. We didn't put in the fear of fire. But today I figured, why not make my own Wrapped? Because I am clearly not the only one who thought that this was a good idea. Now, I tweeted about this a few weeks ago when Spotify Wrapped was actually coming out. It got a bunch of retweets. So many Simmers quote retweeted it with stats that they would absolutely adore to see. So much so that even an ex-developer who used to work on the game retweeted it and was like, this is such a good idea. I'm so down for this. And clearly, EA already has our stats. Like somewhere in the terms and conditions that we all refuse to read, but we always say we have, they collect our data. Because The Sims tweeted out, this was on the 18th of December, what a year it's been. Thank you, Simmers, for a big year full of new furry friends, yummy foods. I wouldn't ever class horses as furry friends. Is that just me? They should have made that joke when werewolves came out. And lots of woohoos. We can't wait to see what next year brings. And with this, they posted a blog post, which is basically a wrap-up of 2023, how players actually played a bunch of their games from EA Sports FC. Does anyone actually call it that? Or is it like a Twitter thing where we all refuse to refer to it as its new name and it just stays FIFA? Sims 4, Apex Legends, Battlefield. Not gonna lie, did not even know that there was a new Battlefield out. Madden, Star Wars. Overall, Simmers around the globe contributed to 1.8 billion hours played. 260 million hours of that 1.8 billion, which is kind of shocking because I feel like builders make up such a huge portion of this community, was only spent in build mode. There were 23 million deaths within the game. Now, I know for sure I probably contributed to a fair few of those. I've been doing the Nightmare Legacy Challenge. It's on a short lifespan. What do you expect? People die. They build a bridge over to Grim and walk straight into his arms. 43 million infants delivered. I forgot that infants came out this year. That is how long this year has felt. There was 12 million gallery uploads, 277 million gallery downloads, so the gallery is still popping. 345,000 woohoos. Simmers, we need to step up the game. 1.8 billion hours and only 345,000 woohoos? Oh, our Sims can't pull anymore. 4.7 million horses created. Way more infants delivered. Obviously, there was a base game update, so it's not surprising. 568 million Sims created. I'm not gonna lie, I think that was all on me. Think I'm carrying that one on my shoulder. Creator Sim was absolutely my comfort zone this year. These are cute little stats. The top 3 recipes made within people's games. Eggs and toast was the main one. I'm fairly sure that is the default breakfast. Like, even if you don't have any cooking skill whatsoever, you can make eggs on toast. Mac and cheese, obviously, again, it's a dish that you need absolutely no levels for. And then ham and cheese sandwich, which is one of the quick meals, a rogue entry. I feel like I never ever use quick meals within the game. But I guess with the introduction of infants, they were aging up into toddlers, and so people were probably giving their toddlers ham and cheese sandwiches more frequently. And then obviously we did get the return of the goat stuff packs, and the top recipe from that was the berry waffles. But of course, being my overachiever and people-pleasing self, I decided why not take this a few steps further and actually create my own sort of Sims Wrapped. I went through all of my gallery. When I go to my uploads, I barely uploaded this year on the gallery, I will say. Most of the things that I uploaded were just repeats, so like multiple uploads. So I had 3 copies of my Pride Shell challenge. I think that's because I got the scaling wrong on a couple of them. I also had my Tiny Pride neighborhood. Damn. Pride carrying 2 out of the 3 builds that I uploaded this year. I'm an ally. And then my Growing Together home, which is uploaded twice for some reason. I did upload 4 different households. 2 out of those 4 were a couple, and then the other 2 were actually single Sims. Mostly masculine Sims, which is not surprising because I am a defender of masculine Sims. I absolutely love creating masculine Sims. I love designing them. I love the clothes that they wear. I think masculine Sims are so fun to create, but I know that I am in the minority. But when it comes to my library, boy, is it a different story. I actually have in my library 294 households. Of that 294, 285 of those households were mine. Now, obviously, every single sim that you ever play with gets added to your library at some point. But obviously, for random videos that I've done, like the Taylor Swift tests out Spooky Day, the masculine fashion videos that I did, which was all about how I dress my masculine Sims, they're all part of a household. So it's not surprising that I have a very big household number. Only 9 of the households in my library were actually downloaded from other simmers, which is wild. I truly put my whole plumbussy into my library this year and creating Sims. I had 69 nice builds on my library. Only 28 of them were mine. Like I said, most of them were repeats or like redos. And then 41 of them were downloaded, which is not surprising because of course I was playing Globetrotter Challenge an awful lot this year. That is all about making the most out of the world that you are currently living in. You're not allowed to travel outside of that world. So I basically redid the worlds with lots that other people had created to make them 1, more usable for me, and also 2, just way more interesting so that I could have my sim go out and meet loads of different people and have loads of different life experiences. When it comes to save files, I actually created 88 save files this year. Only 1 of them was a scenario. So I only played 1 scenario this year. Not surprising considering we maybe didn't even get any new scenarios this year. I feel like the last ones we got were really those story-based ones where they introduced like their own Sims. I actually had a lot of fun with the inheritance scenario. It was confusing the first couple of times I like tried to play through it, but once I got the hang of it, it felt alright. It just also really made me want like actual physical inheritances within the game. Of those 88 saves, my very first save was actually my Daddy Winter save, which I called The Slaying, which I actually played on a sponsored stream by Elgato right at the end of last year. And anyone that Daddy Winter managed to woohoo actually turned into Father Winter. Daddy Winter says, "Let it snow." Doesn't snow always land on top? I don't get the reference, okay? I haven't seen the film yet, I'm sorry. What I was actually very interested in though was actually the stats of my Sims. So we're gonna go through some of my biggest save files for this year, and we're gonna check out each individual's Sims stats in my family. Some of you might actually not know that this feature exists in the game, and this is kind of what I was thinking they could pull from if they ever choose to give us individual stats. But if you actually head to your Simology panel, and then this little graph section here says stats, you can see all of your individual individual stats for that one specific sim. So for example, Leah has cooked 42 meals, taken 51 showers, has only been kissed 10 times, which to be fair, some of these are slightly skewed because if you make Let's Plays, or even if sometimes you just play the game like for your own fun, we do things wrong and things that we regret, and you have to revert your saves, and that then counts as a new save. So I'm fairly sure stats don't carry over. I swear, my sim is in a loving relationship. She does get kisses. She's had 103 bathroom breaks. Honestly, for a paranoid sim, I'm so impressed with the fact that she has visited 104 social events. They've only woohooed 5 times, which they did manage to get 3 children out of that, which is quite impressive. Has never had a fight, which of course she hasn't. Has only bladder failed once. I'm honestly quite impressed with my misfortune stats. Has only witnessed 11 fires. I mean, that's more fires than I ever would want to witness in my life. It also tells you how many wants you've completed over a sim's lifetime. Apparently Jude has been kissed 22 times, which I failed to see how she can only have been kissed, like, what was it, 15, and he's 22. Unless it also counts like family kisses, in which case I'm showing favoritism towards him and I need to give Leah some extra loving. Who have you been kissing in secret? He's obeyed 82 go heres. That's quite good going. 0 fights. He has only witnessed 10 fires. However, he has actually been singed twice from those fires, so his fires were a little bit more personal. I do love how Vampires is one of the only packs that actually gets its own dedicated stats. Times woohooed as bats. That's honestly almost as good as out of context bug fixes for The Sims. Oh, I haven't loaded up my Horse Ranch Let's Play save since I finished it, which was the 19th of October. Was kissed 8 times. No passing out though on any of my Sims, which honestly feels unrealistic. I swear that stat must have messed up somewhere because I definitely feel like I've had Sims pass out way more frequently than nothing. I do wish, for example, like Horse Ranch, that these actually got updated with packs, because obviously Vampires is the only one, but then I had Blair enter so many competitions. Like, I would love to know how many competitions he entered over his lifetime, or how many bottles of nectar Ash created for his business, how many simoleons they had earned. There's a lot of stats I would probably add to this, especially if we ever did get a like year in the Sims review. Total once completed 31. We did witness 5 fires, but again, no other misfortunes. Didn't honestly even fall asleep that much. I really said I'm about to speedrun Horse Ranch. I mean, there wasn't too much content to speedrun. My Globetrotter stats are gonna, I think, probably be the most interesting, because I feel like he's probably done like the most in like variation. Showers taken 43. Now that's quite impressive for someone who is traveling the globe. I mean, I do tend to give him a sort of public bathroom on every lot that he goes to. 73 bathroom breaks. He has the bladder of an old man. You know what? I can't even judge because I'm exactly the same. 41 social events attended. Woohooed only 1 time. Not as much as a Lothario as one originally thought. No bladder failures. I simply do not believe that. I'm sorry. He must have passed out. What the heck? He's traveling the globe and he hasn't got any of these lived experiences. What is traveling without a cheeky misfortune or 2? I've taken care of my Sims way more this year than I probably ever have in my life. I'm honestly quite impressed. The thing about recording this video though is now I just keep thinking of different stats that I would want to see here. Like, how many different community lots has he visited? How many times has he traveled? How many friends has he gained and lost throughout his time? There's just so many things that aren't included. You don't know what you got till it's gone, or until it was never there in the first place. And last but certainly not least, more so because this took me the most amount of time and I actually did the most preparation for it, and I am actually quite proud of my little presentation, we are gonna have a look at all of those top saves that I played through and see what the most important stats for my games overall were. So the amount of times I had my sim kiss each other. 60 times. I actually didn't include my Globetrotter, who I actually think probably would have carried quite a lot of these stats because he's a little go-getter. For the number of woohoos, a measly 15. I am ashamed. No woohoo challenges were happening this year. I was playing my wholesome little dollhouse. There were no mycene dolls being rubbed together in my sims this year. Then the number of fights, 1. How is that possible? However, when it comes to attending social events, my sims were more sociable than me this year, which is saying something because I really got back into my social life routine. I was going to concerts this year. I went to Pride. Yeah, I may have picked up COVID. Apparently, my sims were enjoying themselves even more. I was a slight little micromanager though. However, my sims only listened to my go here directions only 192 times. That just goes to show your sims will never listen to you. I'm actually quite proud of this stat. We only had 2 bladder failures. How that happened is beyond me because I distinctly remember seeing way more piss on the floor. My short lifespan legacy is included in these stats. I just don't think that's possible, although it was only technically Aiden's stats. If I included maybe the ones who passed away before her, I feel like that piss count would be higher. I feel like I have eternal piss stains in that house, and we can do this until we pass out. Only 2 times though, because I take good care of my sims. Can't say the same for fires though, because that was 33 fires witnessed by like 5 sims that I collected their stats from. Turns out those fires weren't so critical though, because I did only witness 2 deaths. And I'm fairly sure those were in my Nightmare Legacy challenge, which of course people are gonna die. It's on a short lifespan. That was expected from the get-go. So Sims team, you might have made my sims too afraid of fire. Proof is in the pudding right there. 33 fires in only 3 or 4 saves. I mean, I too would be scared of fire if I almost witnessed my grandma passing away as she was trying to do the washing. But that might have gone a little bit too far. That might need a little bit of rejigging, which I actually think they did in the latest patch that we got. You might not leave your house, but your sims do, because they went to 379 total social events. This was honestly really, really fun. If you have the time and you want to see how you have played your game this year, obviously without knowing how many hours you spent in like each section or what your favorite object was, definitely go check out those sim stats to see. I would love if any of you actually do check out those stats, leave them in the comments down below. I want to hear what chaos everyone else was getting up to in their games. I hope you all enjoyed this little video. I just wanted to have a year in review because I've honestly had a lot of fun with the game this year. I do have to say, I'm kind of hoping we leave 3 expansion packs in the past. I'm a 2 expansion pack girl and a game pack in between. Just a nice, tidy little sandwich, maybe with some sides of stuff packs. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. I also hope you enjoyed the content over the year. You lot truly do make the content, honestly. I have so much fun because I know you lot are hopefully gonna have fun watching the videos, and I cannot thank you enough for letting me continue to play my favorite game franchise, make content out of it, and show up the way that you do. So thank you all so much for the love and support. I hope you all have a very happy new year. I'm sending you so much love, and I will speak to you in my next one because I do have a cheeky little video coming out on New Year's Eve. So I will see you all then. Bye!